What is samadhi? That's a question often asked, especially Bhava samadhi in particular. Samadhi sounds esoteric. It sounds very mystical too, and yet it's our natural state of being at the very core of who we are. There are many different kinds of samadhi, but samadhi is just the word itself is just a complete state of equanimity, of stillness, of ease, where the mind is calm, no ripple. You see, when the lake or the river is completely calm, or you could even say a pond, and at night it's full moon, the reflection of the moon, you see it in the pond as if it was the moon itself. That is a state of samadhi, a state where there is no boundaries, a state of, you could say a state of non-duality, of complete sense of oneness, of quiet ecstasy and bliss. It's hard to put into words. One has to, you have to experience it, and that's my wish and my blessing for all of you to experience a state of samadhi. There are many different types, and we won't go into all of them because they are irrelevant, but a few of them are important to note. The most important one, and Sajwa Samadhi, Sajha Samadhi, is a state exactly of equanimity, of quiet ecstasy and bliss, and yet you can function on a day-to-day basis. You can be in the world active and be a force of change, of beauty in the world. So that's one. But it's a natural state, swasha. Shagi, I believe it's spelled. Devi Ma is not pronouncing it well. Swasha Samadhi. It's that little accent that I still have today. It's a natural state. This is our natural true nature to be in that. And that's the beauty of it. You can be in it all the time. And it does not prevent you from functioning in family, at work, in your profession. And then there is Nirvakalpa Samadhi. Nirvakalpa is a state of very deep, profound meditation, of non-dualistic, of complete equanimity and expansion of consciousness. And in that state, you remain with your eyes closed. You can be in it for many hours. And it's, again, a complete stillness. That one, actually, Paramsa Yogananda talk a lot about Nirvakalpa Samadhi. This one, it's not one that the lay person experience, maybe not even Swaja Samadhi. Those are for sincere seeker, for sadhika, who are on the spiritual path, who are doing intense sadhana, who have shed a lot of karmic garbage. Because it's hard to experience. It's not something you induce yourself in it. It's a natural state when it happens throughout your unfoldment and throughout your spiritual journey and you grow. And again, it's not something you seek, because when you start seeking those kind of experiences, they will elude you. That has been my experience. I never seek enlightenment. I've never seek any mystical experiences. I've never seek, for instance, even to meet His Holiness the Dalai Lama and have this beautiful reverence with him, it all unfolded naturally. It's not like I put it as a goal or I visualize it. It was karmically unfolding. It was supposed to be that way in the sense because of the unfoldment of this one. So you got to have faith and trust that whatever is going to be for you, it will happen at its own divine timing. So the third one I would love to cover, and it's a fascinating one, and that one normally happen much later on after you have gone through a Kundalini ascension. That has been my experience, is Bhava Samadhi. Bhava means devotion, and Samadhi is a state of incredible ecstatic bliss. And that one happened when a deity, when you have a tremendous love and devotion for, in the yogic tradition, especially in Tantra and Bhakti, Tantra in particular, you see that throughout history with like Ramana Krishna, who was so devoted. He loved Kali Ma, Kali, the goddess, the divine mother, they call her, the Kali Ma. Ma means mother. And he would get intoxicated with her. He would go into that state of ecstasy, and he could not come out of it. It was hard for him to come out of it. The same with Ananda Mayi Ma, who was my former guru in past life. She comes up in my book, and I have this deep connection with her, and I know from my own mystical experience that I have had life with her. And yeah, so Ananda Mayi Ma has gone many times in Bhava Samadhi, and this happened to this one as well with Shiva. And it's the point of this is Bhava Samadhi is not an emotional state of or a mood where you are emotional and intense and going crazy. That is not that. Don't fool yourself thinking this might be Bhava Samadhi. What I just described could be Rati though, because many of you maybe are not aware of Rati. R-A-T-I. Rati is an emotional state that is highly intense in Bhakti Yoga, where your energetical focus of your emotion with intense passion is geared towards the divine. Whatever is the divine in for you. It could be a deity, it could be Krishna, you see that. Or it could be Shiva, or it could be could be Kali, for instance, or it doesn't matter, or Jesus Christ, or so Rati, especially in Bhakti and Tantra, you would experience that, like for Bhakta to be an intense, loving devotion when there is Rati, there's intense, loving devotion where there's weeping and laughing ecstatically and going wild, dancing. Well, that is not Bhava Samadhi. Bhava Samadhi is an intoxication. It's intense intoxication of your own divine nature, of Satchit Ananda, of your divine presence, and yet it's induced by out of devotion of what you hold the highest. How to know is simple, because if it does occur to you, it will feel very different from any other mystical experience or any experience you have felt. You will have a very hard time to come out of it. I remember here when we had a book launching of Becoming the Light, Realize Your True Enlightened Nature. It was in August 2018, and we were outdoor and there were a lot of people. And when I came to sit down to start the evening, I went into Bhava Samadhi, and I felt so intoxicated. It was very hard to come out of it, pulling yourself out. So best to ignore it and or for a while you can indulge into it, but eventually you want to come out of it, because the danger is you don't want to get addicted to this kind of state and longing or wanting to have them. You want to, yes, they happen, allow them, but like, some of you might know the story of Ramakrishna, what he had to do to finally pierce through that, because it can become an obstacle to full liberation. That if you start attaching yourself to an experience, especially when you start having those kind of samadhi, and it normally happens especially to sadhaka who are really well advanced on the path, or maybe even where they're not even on the path anymore. They have experienced enlightenment, and yet you can still have an attachment to a kind of state like that, because ultimately is to go into a very deep state of nirvikalpa samadhi. Eventually is to, when you leave the body temple, there's complete liberation. Ultimately, the point is you enjoy the journey and you don't bother yourself like that. They happen, they don't happen, or it happened to this one or this other one. It's good to be aware of those things, only so you don't place judgment yourself on other people, thinking maybe they're crazy, why are they behaving like that? Because I have seen that throughout the decade, or even if people are experiencing spontaneous kriya, if they're going to Kundalini ascension, then they are starting to put judgment on people, thinking they're crazy. So everyone has a different journey, everyone. Ultimately, the point is, don't get attached to that, because it will become an obstacle for you, beloved. Don't allow that. Those are beautiful states. They're profound mystical experience, especially Bhava Samadhi, because it's such an intense intoxication of divinity. And ultimately, like I said, you would know if it's Bhava Samadhi, because when the divine comes, it's like you've been possessed, so to speak, in the most beautiful way. Like you could call it, in a way, the Holy Spirit. You will have a hard time coming out of it. Pulling yourself out of it is quite difficult. But it's not spontaneous kriya. They're not spontaneous kriya, and it's not rati, an emotional mode where you are inducing it yourself. So that's the point. It all naturally unfolds, and naturally Bhava Samadhi happen in a state where you have got rid of a lot of garbage. You have, you're coming to a new beginning. I was going to say an end, but there is no end, there is no beginning ultimately. It's a deep sense of pure consciousness, of Sat Ananda, of your true divine presence, induced by someone you absolutely love in complete devotion. And if it comes, it comes. Doesn't come, it doesn't come. No attachment to it. So it's important to demystify all of those things. So hopefully this was helpful for you. And if you have any question, feel free to write comment and ask question. Very soon we are going to have, this is a great news to share with you. We're going to start having, taking question. Besides Satsang, Divine Satsang, Drinking Bliss, which are now live on YouTube, Davy's Grace YouTube channel, once a month, every second Monday night of the month. You can go on davysgrace.org, look under Satsang. You will always have fresh, detailed information there. But what Devi Ma is going to start doing now is question and answer, direct interaction with Ma on Zoom, and it will be recorded. So be prepared. Very soon we're going to make an official announcement of when it's going to take place. I believe it will be the last Saturday of the month, around probably 1 o'clock Pacific time, but you will be notified. If you want to be on our newsletter to be notified by all the new events, please subscribe to Davy's Grace Blissfulness newsletter, and then you will know. And then you can participate, you can come and ask your question directly with Devi Ma.